Hello friends, this is Dr. Sonali and welcome to my channel called MedRecall. So today's topic is body tube. Before going to learn about different systems, about their histology, I decided to give an overview on body tubes. So let's see today's positive thought. It is the more you feed your mind with positive thoughts, the more you attract great things into your life. So focus on what is good. So what are body tubes? Body tubes are basically esophagus, alimentary canal, which includes esophagus, stomach, intestine, and then also renal system and respiratory system. All these considered as body tubes. So first see what is the basic structure of body tube. The layers which form body tube. Okay. So if there is a lumen in the center, then the first layer will be mucosa, which is composed of epithelium and glands, lamina propria and muscularis mucosa. After mucosa, the next will be submucosa, and then after submucosa, there will be muscularis externa, muscularis layer which includes muscles, and the last one is serosa. Serosa is part of peritoneum and it is also known as Adventitia. In more precise way, you can see here in this diagram you can appreciate mucosa, which is the innermost layer. This one is mucosa, okay, and this is lumen. So mucosa contains epithelium, then lamina propria and muscularis mucosa. So the innermost lining will be this epithelium, then lamina propria and muscularis mucosa. This pinkish color is lamina propria, is very thin, and after that there is muscularis mucosa. The second layer will be submucosa. Submucosa, this yellow colored thing is submucosa. There will be connective tissue, and after that there will be muscularis externa. Muscularis externa will contain two types of layers. There are two layers of cells. One contains circular muscles and the other one will contain longitudinal muscles. And then the last one will be serosa. Serosa is the last layer. In between these layers, there are some nerve tissues, which is Meissner's plexus. Okay, these are plexus in submucosa. These plexus are nothing but part of nervous system, autonomic nervous system. So Meissner plexus and Orbach's plexus, these are two types of plexus which are located in submucosa and muscle layer. Meissner's plexus is located in submucosa, here in submucosa, and the Orbach's plexus located in muscularis layer between the inner circular and outer longitudinal layer. So this layer, so somewhere here these Orbach's plexus are located. This is overview of the layers of body tubes. Now let's see the basic structure of esophagus. So this is cut section of esophagus. You can see these longitudinal folds which are subsequent to the lumen. If there is a lumen, then these are longitudinal folds. Then there is a mucosa, which is composed of stratified squamous epithelium, lamina propria and muscularis mucosa again. Then submucosa, which is the strongest layer. Okay, submucosa is the strongest layer, and submucosal glands are present in submucosa. Okay, the submucosa contains submucosal glands. Then muscularis externa, which is inner circular muscle layer, and meandric or Orbach's plexus are located in muscularis externa and outer longitudinal layer. Then Adventitia is present. Adventitia is the outermost layer. Now let's see the basic of stomach. So this is the stomach, this is the fundus, body and pylorus. These are parts of stomach. If we are taking the cut section of stomach and observing the layers, then we can see the histology of stomach, which includes various types of cells, and each cell has its own function. So there is a gastric lumen. Lumen will be the cavity. Then gastric pit. These are gastric pit. Then gastric glands. So there are gastric glands in the layer. Okay. So one is surface mucus cells and mucus neck cells. This secretes mucin or mucus, which is helpful for the protection of the layer of this stomach. Then there is parietal cell. Then there are gastric glands, mucous neck cells, then parietal cells which form HCl. Okay, these parietal cells form HCl. Then chief cells are there. Chief cells forms pepsinogen. All these are digestive enzymes. Then endocrine cells. There are endocrine cells which secrete some hormones like gastrin, and they are supported by lamina propria. Lamina propria is supporting part, and also serosa also present here. Important thing to remember in stomach are parietal cells produce HCl, chief cells produce pepsinogen, endocrine cells produce gastrin, and mucous cells produce mucus, that is mucin. Then let's move on to the small intestine. Section of small intestine, you can see lumen here. Then there are mucosa again, then submucosa, Muscularis externa and serosa, the basic structure. But here some difference is there, which is the epithelium which lines the cavity. Okay, here is the columnar epithelium, and this columnar epithelium is having microvilli, and these microvilli helps in increasing surface area. Because of increasing surface area, the absorption will increase. Then there are plica circularis, which are mucosal folds, and they also increase surface area for absorption. And serosa is also present, which is the outermost layer. See there, mucous epithelium, then lamina propria is there. Villi is these things. These are villi, fold-like structures. They increase surface area. Then again the same structures like submucosal glands, mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa and serosa. All these Orbatches and Meissner's plexus are also present there. Let's see respiratory tube. Respiratory tube, again it also consists of mucosa, then submucosa, and here something different is special feature is it consists of pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium. Okay, so this is pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium. The cilia are very tiny, very micro structures, so we can't see them here. Then there are goblet cells also, goblet cells, and then mucin layer. Okay, so this is basement membrane of the pseudostratified cells, this epithelium. Then lamina propria, which consists of connective tissue and smooth muscle, glands and cartilage. It also contains cartilage. So if you have a slide which shows cartilage, then it must be respiratory tube, okay, along with these goblet cells and epithelium and all. So hyaline cartilage, it is rigid and keep the lumen patent. So what is the importance of cartilage in respiratory tube? Because it makes it rigid, and whereas in esophagus it is not rigid, it needs to be flexible. It stops at the level of bronchus. This is an MCQ point, that hyaline cartilage stops at the level of bronchus. Bronchioles do not have hyaline cartilage, and smooth muscle are abundant. Adventitia is present. So here Adventitia is present. Adventitia will be the outermost layer. Then let's see what is renal tube. Renal tube will contain transitional epithelium, and it also contains smooth muscle. All those structures like mucosa, submucosa and muscularis externa and adventitia or serosa, all these are common for all these tubes. Only the difference is epithelium, which is lining the lumen, which is lining the cavity, and in this renal tube it is transitional epithelium, and it also contains abundant of smooth muscles. So this was an introduction for the systems we are going to see in further upcoming lectures. So thank you for watching this lecture. I hope you will like it. Please share it with your friends and subscribe my channel. Bye. See you soon.